Okay, Internet. Today's been a bit of a busy day. So I should probably catch people up on what's going on with Zoan. Zoan, for those that may not know, Zoan, my orange kitty, he has been undergoing treatment for a little while now. And this actually started back when I was living in Norway, and over a year ago now. More like a year and a half ago. Zoan started showing some health problems, and he was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, which is fairly common in cats as they grow older. He was diagnosed in Norway, and basically they went, well, we can give him medication for it, we can give him special food, we don't do the radiation therapy thing, which those are the three traditional solutions for hyperthyroidism. So we started with the medication because that was what was offered. They didn't even mention the other options until I poked at him about it. And turns out Zoan's allergic to the medication. He broke out into an itchy rash. He couldn't sleep. He was urinating and defecating everywhere. It was miserable for him. And we took him off the medication at that point. We reevaluated and went, well, Denmark can do it. And I was going to be moving to Denmark in a few months anyway. Let's go ahead and just wait. He's obviously allergic to the medication. We can't go that route. Get to Denmark, do some testing. They don't find he has hyperthyroidism. They actually find a working thyroid in the normal range. Okay. Fast forward a bit, I had noticed that Zoan's weight started, or they had warned me, hey, maybe it's just right on the edge. We might notice it a bit later. Keep your eye out. And several months later, this would have been September of last year, I believe, I noticed Zoan's weight dropping like a rock, even though he was maintaining the amount of food that he was eating, which is a sign of hyperthyroidism. So usually they'll actually increase the amount of food that they eat. But anyway, we do some tests. Zoan comes back as positive hyperthyroid, and we do some preliminary tests before going off to what I called Space Camp. Space Camp is the university in Copenhagen that specializes in veterinary care, and they are the only place in all of Denmark that handles radiation therapy. We get through the university, go through the initial parts of the appointment. They require the radioactive source, get ready to do the stuff, and Zoan was going through final testing when found out, no, he actually tested negative for hyperthyroidism again, and tested positive for kidney problems. So, long story short, Zoan has kidney disease. This is terminal. He will eventually die from his kidney disease, but eventually can be 5+ years away, or it could be next month. He's very borderline on his kidney disease. So kidney disease in cats is usually only detectable once it gets beyond a certain point. And Zoan was just barely beyond that certain point. So he's considered very early stage 2. Stage 1 is not actually detectable in cats. So, okay. We have put him on replacement food. Luckily, he actually seems to like the kidney disease food, so that's not a problem. We've put him on the kidney disease food, and in addition, they found that Zoan had a large amount of arthritis. And the thought was that part of the reason why Zoan had been aggressive as of late was because he was in pain with arthritis. So every month he actually gets cortisol shots, just like a older human would. It's actually every 4 weeks, and really more like 3.5 weeks. Unfortunately, this is very expensive. It is draining on my wallet, but Zoan's my kitty. So that was actually what you saw earlier, was Zoan going to the vet for his fortnightly, or dual fortnightly. Anyway, for his cortisol shot, he actually also started getting a second shot, which is ketamine. An incredibly tiny dose. It is absolutely hilarious how tiny of a dose this is. The charge for the ketamine shot is 39 øre. Øre is kind of like the Danish kroner, is the kroner equivalent to cents. So 39 øre is something along the lines of, what would that be? Math. 6 cents? 5 or 6 cents, something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's such a tiny amount, but apparently it helps with, it's a multiplicative effect with the cortisol, or cortisone, not cortisol. Anyway, last month, when he got his cortisone shot, nothing happened. He reacted as though he hadn't gotten the shot at all and started getting grumpier and whinier and so on. We're not sure what happened with that, but that's not a great sign. He got another shot. We made sure that it actually went in, because there is a chance that the needle can just go right through his skin, because it's just like, it's injected underneath his skin. It doesn't have to go into muscles or anything. So it's possible that the needle went right out and we just didn't notice. And if that's the case, whoops. Otherwise, hopefully that's okay. All of the kitties in the household have vet appointments next week, because all of them are due for rabies shots. And I keep rabies shots up with my cats. It is technically required here, but hardly anybody does it beyond a certain age. Shamara will be traveling back and forth, so she definitely needs a rabies shot. Kingdom of Norway requires it. Isun and Zoan will likely never travel again outside of the municipality, but I'm still going to keep them up on rabies shot just in case. And also, we might be introducing a 4th cat to the household. That won't be during VEDA, though, so you probably won't see it until I record a random video type of thing. Zoan did fairly well at the vet today. He yowled for a good chunk of the trip there, but not all of it, because that's the way he works, and was fairly quiet on the way back. We actually live within walking distance of the vet right now. Unfortunately, we won't be living within walking distance when we move, and that vet is still one of the closer vets to the place. But, oh well. So yeah, that's kind of the Zoan update, is he's doing not so great. He is losing a little bit of weight. Not as much weight as Isun is. I'm actually really concerned about that, but that's something that gets brought up during his next vet appointment. Zoan is very slowly losing weight. It's not that bad right now, but he is definitely underweight. And he is getting worse, and I don't know how much longer I have left with him. You want to say hi, Zoan? Meow. Come on up, Sunky. The internet always wants to see you. See? My Sunky. So yeah, I think that's it, internet. I hope you've had... I know I've said good kitten at the start, but I hope you have a good kitten, and I'll talk to you next time. I should try to do a longer vlog tomorrow. It'll be one of 2 topics, depending on what I end up recording. Okay, thanks, bye.